Boundaries are expectations that are shared in a relationship. They are the blueprint on how to navigate healthy relationships. These expectations are developed based on what you know about yourself, how past relationships have played out, your goals for the future, and how you want to show up for others, or how much of yourself you can make available to others. As a participant of any relationship, you too should honor the expectations of those who you interact with. As each relationship is unique, it has its own set of boundaries that are right for people to interact with, whether in friendships, romantic relationships, marriage, partnerships, colleagues, etc. Boundaries help keep people safe within those connections. By establishing clear boundaries that are right for all parties involved, you will be promoting authenticity in a relationship. Hey everyone, welcome back to Get Candid Podcast. I am your host, Raven Joseph, and today we are talking about setting healthy boundaries in relationship. You have the power to control what you will allow. This year has, I think it's been setting boundaries on steroids. One day I woke up and decided that I wanted better for myself. I wanted to stop feeling a certain way when I interacted with certain people. And so I decided to make changes. And I'm realizing it's become more easy for me with practice, but at the same time, it wasn't always that way. As you all know, my subscribers who have been listening for quite some time, you understand that I'm a recovering people pleaser. So I'm a kind of like a go with the flow person. I don't really complain much unless you blatantly disrespect me. That's one thing, but other than that, I'm okay. Like I don't know if I don't recognize it at first, and so I don't do anything about it, or I think I'm always trying to see the good in people. So it's possible I ignore things that with somebody else wouldn't be a pass, but I don't know, like, I really got to think about that. I had to talk to my therapist about this, but I have realized that this year I'm not taking anybody's bullshit. I would tell you that much. I'm still working on setting boundaries, but I would say I am proud of myself for letting go of relationships that didn't make me feel good, or we're not conducive to my emotional and mental health, right? We're still in Emotional Wellness Month, so I wanted to discuss with you all what healthy boundaries look like. Before we could even get into that, like, what do you think a healthy relationship is? Have you ever really sat and asked yourself that? What's a healthy relationship? I can tell you this, I'm always talking to my students about how they speak to me, because it's weird how they'll be spazzing out on me one day and then tomorrow they'll just be like, "Good morning, miss." It's just like, yo, you were just spazzing out on me, and now your energy is different. Like, that's not healthy, but they're really used to people speaking to them and yelling at them. They are used to that type of treatment. They think it's normal. And so, but is it normal? And what you accept as normal today, do you want that to be your normal? Or is it you don't want to complain because it's supposed to be normal? If that makes sense. I think sometimes, with me, I'm only going to speak for myself today. Like, sometimes I don't complain about things because I feel like I'm nitpicking. I do feel like a lot of things that happens in society today, like the complaining, it gets annoying with me. So I try my best not to complain, or I overlook issues because I don't like problems. But that can fester and it can become a worse situation if you don't pay attention. I'm going to give you an example. Years ago, I had a co-teacher who was in grad school, and used to be lenient and plan everything, differentiate every lesson. So I'm a lead teacher, and my co-teacher teaches special education. So they're supposed to help with the lesson planning and how to deliver content and things like that. But this person did absolutely nothing. They barely helped to grade papers, but they were so unreliable. I guess the control in me, the controlling person in me, or the controlling part of my personality was just like, F this. If you're not going to do it correctly, I'm just going to do it. I'm not even going to ask you at this point, because it's not like I don't know how to do it. It's time, right? It's having the time to really break down these lessons. When I want to do a solid lesson, it takes a couple of hours because I got to read through the material. I got to make the mini lesson, decide if I want to play a video to help them understand the content. What kind of engaging activities can I do with them? What kind of questions can I create to get them talking and engaged in the classroom and get them excited about learning about global history? All of these things play out, and it takes time for me. I would say some people, they get it quickly, but for me, like, I overthink and I'm like, no, this is not good enough. Like, let me do this instead. So I was to the point where I was doing all the work, and there was a couple of times where I was just like, okay, I'm going to try this time. I'm going to try to include my co-teacher in my planning. So sometimes our conversation would look like, hey, could you check out this primary source? We know that we have students with an elementary school reading level, right? So how can we help them to access this content? I'm not sure about that, says co-teacher. Okay. And I just leave it at that, and I end up doing it. There's been another occasion where I've asked them to do something and I've come in and it's not done. And this is just like not the first time this has happened, but for some reason I had a difficult time speaking up. And I think it was because what shut me down in that situation was years before that, I had another co-teacher. I don't know what it was, but it would irritate me because we would teach together in the same class for 2 periods a day. So it's an hour and a half block, and she would not say anything to me about anything. And then when she had something to say, she would write it in an email. So one time I think I checked her on it, and then I don't know what she said, but it was a Sunday. It was kind of my fault because I don't know why I was checking my email on a Sunday anyway, but I saw an email and it kind of irritated me. And I said something to her, but I think I answered her question, but then she was going back, and I don't know what happened. I'm not even going to like try to like fill in, but I just know I kind of like was like, don't hit me up on a Sunday and expect me to respond, kind of thing. That's what I said to her in the email. But I was being serious. Like, we have double periods. We work together every day. Just talk to me in the classroom. So that was that. All of a sudden, what my supervisor comes up to me, and she was like, I know you. She was like, I know that she knows me. She knows I work hard. I'm like serious about, teaching. Like, I don't play. I don't mess with people or anything like that. So when my co-teacher went to her to complain, although my supervisor at the time might not have like said that she didn't believe her, she knew me longer. Like, she's known me, she's worked with me for years, so she knows me. So, but her advice to me was like, stop putting things in emails. There was a time, my first year of teaching, my co-teacher got so mad. Was that my first year? No, it was my first year at the school. My co-teacher got so mad that he threw a chair at the locker. So I felt uncomfortable. This is the first week. I don't know this man. So I told the AP, like, yo, what's up with that? So his thing was that he was older than me. Mind you, I'm all over the place with this, but I'm just like thinking about all these things of like, I'm talking to y'all right now. Like, I'm healing from this right now. But like, he was way older than me. He had years of teaching experience, and I think this was my 3rd year of teaching. And he found out that I was a lead teacher. I'm an African